By the time you feel steamrolled in your own meeting, the damage is already done. Welcome to Solving People Problems, the show where leaders come when the people part of leadership is the hardest part. Now, I'm Brenda Neckbottle. I've spent 30 years in HR, crisis management, and handling the kind of workplace chaos that no one warns you about. In every episode, we get straight to the point. Real problems, real people, real solutions you can use today. There's no theory, there's no sugarcoating, just the tools you need to lead with authority in order to protect your sanity and keep your team performing at its best. Now, you just gave away authority and they didn't know it. And it's not because you're weak, it's because you weren't ready with the one move that holds the room. Overtalkers don't just speak a lot, they compete. They take up space that they haven't even earned. And they test your limits without ever raising their voice. They dominate airtime. They derail focus and they make every meeting about them, even when they're wrong. And most leaders, they freeze because interrupting feels rude, because taking the mic back feels like conflict, because deep down, they're afraid of looking controlling. But here's what no one tells you. When you say nothing, you're not avoiding conflict, you're creating confusion. And the rest of your team, well, they're watching and they're wondering if you noticed. And they're wondering if you're able to step in. And when you don't, they take their cue from you. So here's what works. This is what I want you to say. Let's pause for a moment because what I'm about ready to say needs your full attention. That one phrase reclaims authority without raising your voice. It interrupts without apologizing, and it signals the room that you lead now. It's not aggressive, it's clear, and it's direct. It holds the line without turning the moment into a power struggle. And this is the difference between managing chaos and commanding respect. Because the truth is that people can't hijack your voice if you know how to anchor it. Now, this is why so many meetings feel exhausting. Not because your team is out of control, because your leadership has no floor to stand on, no phrases to fall back on, no preloaded language for the moments that matter the most. And when the pressure is on, you won't rise to your potential. You will default to your training. And if you were never trained for this, you're not failing. You were just never given the script. So practice it, memorize it, say it in the mirror if you need to, because the next time someone tries to dominate the room, you're not going to freeze. You'll lead. Now, can we agree that the moment that you hesitate to interrupt, you're no longer leading, you're negotiating for the space that you already earned? Now, how many of you sat in a meeting and felt the hijack starting to happen and told yourself that you'd circle back later only to realize that the room had already moved on? How many of you have walked out frustrated, not because they talked too much, but because you said too little? And how many of you have caught yourself thinking the next time I'll step in sooner, but then you froze when the moment came? Now, I realize this, that authority doesn't wait to be invited. Leadership doesn't ask permission. The second you decide your voice is worth protecting, the room shifts. Because you don't rise by raising your voice. You rise by choosing uncertainty. And you don't lead by talking more. You lead by anchoring the room when it matters the most. You don't earn authority twice. You either hold it or you hand it away. So where in your leadership are you still negotiating instead of leading? Where are you letting overtalkers, doubters, or second guessers set the tone while you sit in silence? And what would change if the next time you felt hijacked, you anchored instead of froze? Your leadership isn't stolen, it's surrendered. And the moment you decide to hold the line, you stop negotiating for authority that you already own. Now that begins now. And on October 22nd in Virginia Beach, my Leadership Unleashed live event will show you what to say, when to say it, and why it works. That way, tense rooms start to settle and your team moves forward. It's not just another leadership event. It's the one room where you'll finally get the tools to deal with the chaos no one warned you about, the employees who push back, the performance that slips, and the team dynamics that drain the life out of your leadership. So join me and two Navy SEALs for a full day of high intensity reset that is going to shift how you lead under pressure, because trust, clarity, and control don't happen by accident. You build them. Seats are limited, and we also have a few VIP spots that are open. So go to Leadership Unleashed Live and book your spot right now.